What would you do if a cop asked for your phone right now and you handed it over unlocked? They could see far more than just one screen. They could stumble into your texts, photos, banking alerts, location clues, and private messages before you even realize what you gave away. Hit subscribe right now because what I am about to show you could protect your money, your freedom, and your entire private life. And tap like before you forget this, because panic makes people hand over their rights in seconds. If your phone is unlocked, your whole life is basically sitting in that officer's hand. Your contacts, your photos, your email, your notes, your maps, your work apps, your dating apps, your banking notifications, even those little preview messages on your lock screen can reveal way too much. Here's the reality. Most people treat a phone like it is just a gadget. Courts treat it more like a digital house full of your secrets. That is why this matters so much. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn the exact line that shuts down consent, the question that stops a phishing trip, the safest way to deal with a request to unlock your device, and the court cases that back all of it up. Let me show you exactly how one calm sentence can change the whole stop. I've analyzed over 200 body cam videos, and the pattern is always the same. The driver gets nervous, starts explaining, tries to look helpful, and hands over way too much. Now, let us talk about where people mess this up. You get pulled over, your heart starts racing. The officer sounds casual. Maybe they say they just want to check something real quick. Maybe they ask if your insurance card is on your phone. Maybe they ask who you were texting. Maybe they ask if they can take a quick look. And because you do not want trouble, you unlock the phone and hand it over. That is the mistake. Most people have no idea that a polite request can turn into a huge privacy disaster. Once your phone is open, you have created a mess that is very hard to clean up later. Here's the trick they do not want you knowing. A lot of phone access starts with your consent, not a warrant. You do not have to make their job easier. This is 100% legal. You can be respectful and still protect yourself. The first thing you need to do is refuse consent clearly and fast. Not rude, not angry, just clear. Here's exactly what you say. Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone, word for word. Memorize that line. Say it early, say it calmly, say it one time if you need to. If they keep pushing, repeat it the same way. I do not consent to any search of my phone. Why does this work? Because consent is gold for police. If you give permission, they do not need to fight nearly as hard later. They can say you agreed. They can say you handed it over voluntarily. They can say you opened it yourself. And now you are arguing uphill. Defense attorneys use this exact line in court because it draws a bright line. It tells everyone listening that you did not agree. That matters. Bad way. Most drivers say, I guess that is fine, or I have got nothing to hide. Then the officer starts looking, and now your own words are helping build the case against you. Good way. Smart drivers say, Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone. Then the officer knows you're not giving free permission, and your lawyer has something strong to work with later. Watch what happens when you do not use that line. The officer asks for your phone. You laugh nervously. You unlock it. Maybe you think they will just check your insurance app. But now a text banner pops up. Maybe there is a message from a friend. Maybe there is a Cash App alert. Maybe there is a photo thumbnail. Maybe there is a search tab open. Now one simple request has turned into a trail of questions. Who is this? Why were you at that address? What is that photo? Open your messages. And you are already on defense. Now watch what happens when you use the line the right way. The officer asks for the phone. You keep your voice flat. You keep your hands calm. You say, Officer, I do not consent to any search of my phone. That sentence changes the energy. It tells the officer, you know the difference between being polite and giving up your rights. Former police officers have confirmed this works because it removes the easy path. They may still seize the phone in some situations, but searching what is inside is a different fight. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings. In Riley v. California, the Supreme Court said police generally need a warrant before searching the digital contents of a cell phone taken from someone after an arrest. Plain English, your phone is not like a pack of gum in your pocket. It holds a massive amount of private information, so officers usually need a judge's okay before digging through it. That does not mean every officer will back off right away. It means your refusal matters. It protects the record, it protects your case, and it keeps you from accidentally making the search easy for them. Here is the reality. Your goal is not to win an argument on the roadside. Your goal is to avoid giving away consent. That is it. Stay calm. Stay simple. Your goal is to avoid giving away consent. That is it. Stay calm. Stay simple. Do not explain. Do not joke. Do not try to sound extra innocent. One clean sentence beats 10 nervous ones every time. Still watching? Good. Drop a like if this is already changing how you would handle a stop, and tell me in the comments if you have ever been asked for your phone. The second tactic is just as important. Keep control of the device and never unlock it for them. If you need to show proof of insurance or a document on your phone, keep the phone in your own hand the entire time. Listen closely because this is critical. The moment your unlocked phone leaves your hand, you lose control of what gets tapped or seen. Here is exactly what you say. I can show you the insurance card on my phone, but I'm not handing you my unlocked device. That line is calm, respectful, and direct. Let me show you exactly why this matters. A lot of drivers think the danger starts only if police do a full search. That is not true. The danger starts the second the phone is open and out of your control. All it takes is one swipe. One notification, one accidental tap, one screen showing your recent calls, your maps, your Cash App, your photos, or your email. Even if the officer says they only want to see one thing, your unlocked phone can expose 10 other things in seconds. Legal experts agree this is your strongest protection in real life because it prevents the problem before it starts. Bad way. Most drivers say, sure, here you go, and pass over the unlocked phone. Then the officer has the device, the screen is live, and your private life is right there. Good way. Smart drivers say I can show you the insurance card on my phone, but I'm not handing you my unlocked device. Then you keep control, show only what is needed, and close the app. This is 100% legal. You're allowed to protect your privacy while still giving required documents. If your insurance app takes time to load, say so. If you cannot find it safely, ask if a paper warning or other proof will work. What you do not do is unlock the device and hand it away like it is no big deal. Now let us talk about locking methods, because this part matters more than people think. The safest everyday setup is a strong passcode, not a simple 4-digit joke, a real passcode. Why? Because courts have been much less clear about biometric unlocks like face or fingerprint. In some places, police may argue those are more like a physical key than protected testimony. But a memorized passcode is usually a stronger legal position. I'm not telling you to be dramatic, I'm telling you to be smart. If you care about your privacy, use a passcode and know how to quickly lock your phone. Here's what that means in the real world. If you see emergency lights and your phone is in your hand, lock it. Lock it before the officer gets to your window. Do not start clearing apps in a panic. Do not toss it under the seat. Just lock it and put it away. If they later ask you to unlock it, you say, I do not consent to a search, and I will not unlock my phone. Short, clean, respectful. And if you are thinking, won't that make me look guilty? No, it makes you look informed. People lock their phones for the same reason they lock their homes. Because private things belong to them. Not because they are criminals, not because they are hiding bodies in the trunk, because privacy is normal. The third tactic is the line that stops the stop from growing bigger than it should. You look at the officer and say this, am I being detained or am I free to leave? Those exact words. This matters because a lot of phone requests happen after the original reason for the stop should already be over. The warning is written, the ticket is done, your documents are back. But the officer keeps chatting, then comes the fishing. Mind if I ask a few more questions? Can I see your phone real quick? Who are you texting? That is where people get trapped. Bad way. Most drivers say, yeah, sure, what do you need? Then the stop keeps stretching and the questions keep coming. Good way. Smart drivers say, am I being detained or am I free to leave? Then the officer has to make a legal choice. Watch what happens when you do not ask this. You think the stop is still official, so you keep answering. The officer sounds friendly. You want to seem cooperative. 5 extra minutes turns into 10. Now the conversation has nothing to do with your taillight or your speed. It is about your passengers, your plans, and your phone. That extra time is where trouble grows. Now watch what happens when you use the question. The stop is wrapping up. Your paperwork is back. The officer tries one more angle. You calmly say, am I being detained or am I free to leave? That forces a choice. If you are free to leave, leave. If you are being detained, stop talking and do not start explaining. The question cuts through the fog. This comes straight from Supreme Court rulings like Rodriguez versus United States. The court said, police cannot drag out a traffic stop longer than needed for the traffic mission without separate suspicion. Plain English. They do not get endless bonus time just to poke around and hope you say yes. That is huge for you, because a phone request often comes during that extra fishing time. If you know how to ask the right question, you can stop a casual chat from turning into a deeper investigation. And there is another reason this line works. It changes your mindset. Instead of trying to talk your way out, you think clearly. You stop volunteering. You stop filling silence. You stop helping build the case. That alone can save you. Most people already clicked away. If you are still here, you are serious about protecting yourself. Drop a comment saying, I am still here. The fourth tactic is what you do if the officer keeps pushing, arrests you, or starts demanding your code. This is where people crack. They think explaining will make it go away. No, that is when you lock down completely. Here's exactly what you say. I'm invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. I will not unlock my phone. Say it just like that. Bad way. Most drivers say I can explain, or it is not what it looks like. Then they start talking and guessing. Good way. Smart drivers say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent. I want a lawyer. I will not unlock my phone. Then the talking stops, the guessing stops, and the damage stops growing. Defense attorneys use this line to close dangerous doors. First, it uses your right to stay silent. Second, it asks for a lawyer. Third, it makes clear you're not helping unlock the phone. When people fail here, they talk themselves into problems that never had to exist. This connects to Miranda versus Arizona. Plain English. If you are in custody and they want to question you, you have the right to stay silent and ask for a lawyer. Once you clearly ask for a lawyer, questioning is supposed to stop. No small talk. No just one thing. No unlocking the phone. And let us be honest, your phone can make innocent things look bad. A joke, text out of context, or a saved contact with a weird name, a cash transfer with no story, or a photo from months ago. Your phone does not explain you. It just exposes pieces of you. That is why silence matters so much. Now let me tie the legal side together in simple English. Riley v. California says police need a warrant before searching phone digital contents. Carpenter v. U.S. says they need a warrant for location records. Rodriguez v. U.S. says they cannot drag out a traffic stop longer than needed. Miranda v. Arizona says silence stops the questioning. Put those together and the lesson is simple. Do not consent. Do not unlock. Do not keep chatting after the stop should be over. Ask for a lawyer if things escalate. Now picture a real stop. You're driving home at night and get pulled over. The officer asks for documents. Your insurance is on your phone. You unlock it and start digging. The officer sees a text pop up. They say, let me hold that for a second. You hand it over. Wrong move. Now they scroll more than you expected. They ask who texted you and why you were at a certain address. You start talking fast. You say too much. The stop that should have ended with a warning now feels like a full-blown investigation. Now let us do that same stop the right way. You pull over and stay calm. Before the officer reaches the window, your phone is locked. They ask for documents. You say, I can show the insurance card on my phone, but I'm not handing you my unlocked device. You keep it in your own hand. You show only the card. Then you lock it again. If they ask to take a look, you refuse consent. If the paperwork comes back and they keep probing, you ask if you are free to leave. If things get worse, you invoke your rights. See the difference? In the wrong version, you let fear run the stop. In the right version, you use simple lines that protect you. You do not need to sound like a law professor or debate the Constitution. You just need a few sentences and discipline. Next week, I am revealing what to say when cops ask to unlock your phone after claiming they have enough reason. Subscribe now. Do not miss it, because that one mistake ruins people every single day. So let us lock this in. First, never consent to a phone search. Say the line clearly and keep repeating it. Second, never hand over your phone unlocked. If you must show a document, keep the phone in your hand. Third, if the stop is dragging, ask if you are being detained or free to leave. Fourth, if things escalate, stay silent, ask for a lawyer, and do not unlock the phone. That is your power. Calm words, simple steps, strong protection. Hit subscribe so you catch that next phone search video when it drops. Smash the like button if this just saved your private life from landing in somebody else's hands. And drop a comment telling me which line you are going to memorize first. Stay safe out there.